Welcome to Dom and Dragons, a Goats and Dragons campaign featuring Dominic Monaghan. We at Helpful Goat want to be very clear about something. Black lives matter. Systemic racism is real and pervasive, as evidenced by, among other things, the ongoing and infuriating lack of justice for Black victims of police violence. Please support organizations that are working to dismantle systems of oppression. Support organizations that support Black lives. Support Black lives directly. For resources and a starting place, please see the links in our episode description. And as always, please be warned, this podcast may include adult situations and language. You know, the kind of language used by people who are heartbroken and enraged at the current state of the world, and occasionally channel that into their role-playing. You're welcome.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
I'm just going to run, pour myself a glass of Prosecco. Ooh.
Nice. Ooh.
We just had the most epic game of League of Legends where we were ahead.
Holy shit.
We were ahead 13-8. We ended up getting beaten, and there was a guy on our feed called Daniel that was just screaming at our entire team the entire time, like, back, why aren't you defending me? Help me out, all this kind of stuff. And at the end, me and my friend who were on the game together, we were like, Jesus Christ, Daniel, you lost us the game. And he was losing his mind. Because we were like winning amateurs, and he's trying to shot call for us. And in the feed, we're like, Daniel, what are you doing? Jesus Christ, he lost his mind.
Yeah, go for it, man.
I'll be back in a sec, you guys.
Yeah.
Guys, I really hope my creaking computer is able to deal with video and Roll20 and Twitch. You know, in fact, I'm not even going to go anywhere near Twitch. We'll see what happens next week. I just got a new PC today, which I've not set up yet, so I'm still on my Mac. This time next week, I'll be on an Alienware PC, so we should have
Classic.
a little more. Yeah, the only bummer is that the internet coming into my house is at a very poor rate, so that might scupper any machine, but who knows?
I heard LA specifically has been having really hard troubles with that. Yeah, it's kind of in general.
And we'll let you know if Daniel shows up in the Twitch chat. We'll pass along any messages.
Too good.
Welcome back to Burden, a muddy spot under the boot of the Gohomian army. If you have a sword, you best know when to draw it. If you have money, you've probably left. And if there's someone you trust in this forgotten place, you hold on to them. We're all just trying to make it here, and maybe we ain't looking too close about what you gotta do to be good in a place like Burden.
Dragons, Dom.
Oh my god.
Apologies.
Hello and welcome to Dom and Dragons, the podcast where Helpful Goat Gaming plays Dungeons and Dragons with Dominic Monaghan. Tonight, I'm Andrew Gilbert. I'm usually Andrew Gilbert, but tonight, I'm your friendly neighborhood dungeon master. And I'm not alone. With me, as always, is the unbenevolent dictator of Helpful Goat, Galway, playing the turtle druid Mikek Tumbledown.
Hey, everybody.
Lena, playing the Azamar warlock Elif Fire.
Hi.
Adam, playing the Bugbarian Connie Demure.
Hi, everyone. When I'm on my phone tonight, it's me on Twitch. I'm not just, like, messaging and stuff, okay?
Sure.
When I'm on my phone tonight, I'm probably playing Pokemon Go.
And, of course, Dominic Monaghan playing the halfling monk Kryon Fane.
What's up, friends? Just a little representation. Because, you know, Manchester United need more press, you know.
Yeah. It's a very obscure club. Yeah. Hey everyone. Welcome. Can they see us, Galway?
Presumably.
Yes. Excellent.
Okay, let me put it this way. Stream preview says they can see us. Can you all see us?
Can y'all see us now?
Let us know on Twitch if you can see us.
Yeah. Hey, we're live here. You can actually see us in our faces if you join the live stream. And if you're listening to this podcast, come on over to the live stream. Good times there. That's at twitch.tv/helpfulgoat. Also, feel free to ask questions in the chat. We're playing a game, so we can't always have an eyeball on that, but we have plenty of really fun people in the chat who can answer a lot of your questions or can lead you in the right direction.
So can I interject a little thing here, Andy?
Please. Oh yeah.
I'm playing. I've been telling these guys this for a while. I'm playing on a very clunky MacBook Pro. It's like a 2012. Unfortunately, if I open up Roll20 and Discord and my character sheet and Twitch, it just is not like me. My computer gets really hot, so I can't open up Twitch. So if you guys have a burning question and we have time and you want to throw it to the guys, maybe the other guys who are on Twitch might be able to throw it my way. But unfortunately, not on Twitch at the moment. This time next week, fingers crossed.
Nice. Oh, yeah. Beautiful. All right. And a couple thank yous specifically to Sam Winnie, who wrote the theme song Beasts of Burden and our sort of ending song of session 5. Do we have a name for that? I'm sure we do for the song.
The Myriad?
Yeah.
Question mark?
Oh.
I thought it was called Weird Mountain Shit.
Yeah, maybe Weird Mountain Shit.
Siege Santa theme?
Okay. I love it. And to Monty at Miraculous Monty on Twitter for the amazing character art. Oh my gosh, they're the best. Yeah, just it's so great. And also, we've honestly been playing a lot of games lately just with our Discord. So if you type in !Discord in the chat, you'll get a link to be able to join that. And it's almost daily where we're asking fans in the Discord to play with us. And having a good time that way. So if that's something you might be interested in doing or just want some human connection, because we talked, about all kinds of, we had a dating sim conversation on there not too long ago. Whatever. It's a really good time.
Today we had a conversation about alternate terms for casual sex.
That's true.
Yeah.
Boffing, boning.
Boffing is pretty
The
good.
beast with two backs.
It's a solid. Can't go wrong with Shakespeare.
Shagging, obviously, you guys know shagging.
Yeah.
Very well.
But we're trying to come up with ones that don't have any stigma attached to them. It's really challenging. People stigmatize this stuff so much.
So you're looking for a positive phrase for sex that doesn't have any weird
strings attached kind of thing.
Specifically for casual sex, because Lena was reading a study or something that was referring to it as promiscuous sex, which seemed like judgment-laden.
That's very judgment-laden. I think shagging in England is deemed to be a little casual. Obviously, there's making love, but shagging is just like, oh yeah, you fancy a shag type thing. That's very chilled out.
I like making love, but with no strings attached. You know what I mean?
Making like?
Oh.
No,
That's good.
Anyway, this kind of this is the sort of stuff we talk about on our Discord. So if this is at all interesting, which I love it, join us there. Yeah,
that's great. I love those weird conversations that come out.
No, it's so awesome.
I had this conversation. Well, I've been having this conversation for years with people, which makes no sense, but it's just an interesting thing to talk about. What if? Hang on, let me get this right. What if writers were just books written by better writers? So what if what if C.S. Lewis, his entire existence and his entire back catalogue was just another piece of work written by J.R.R. Tolkien? What if writers were just books written by better writers?
So
that's what I mean, you guys. You can't answer that question.
Yeah, J.R.R. Tolkien was made up by Homer, I'm pretty sure. So
Right. Like, what if these people are just filtering down? They're like, oh, we need a slightly kiddie version of Lord of the Rings. I'll create J.K. Rowling. I'll create the whole experience. I'll create Harry Potter because you need an author.
Yeah.
But it's really written by the ultimate writer up here, you know. Anyway.
Who wrote Dan Brown then?
I did.
Andy wrote Dan Brown. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Sorry about that one.
You should be ashamed
I'll do
of
better.
yourself.
I'll do better next time. Nah, Dan Brown's great. I'm sure he's fine.
I like the Da Vinci Code, but the movie was like, oh, what? Yeah.
I liked Angels and Demons more than I liked the Da Vinci Code. But this is neither here nor there because we are here to play goddamn Dungeons and Dragons.
We are really bleeding out the intro time here.
I love it. It's a good time. All right. Well, I think without further ado, we jump into tonight's game of Dom and Dragons. Last time on Dom and Dragons. As the town, now quite literally in the shadow of a looming fortress, discusses the next steps, the beasts of burden, our adventurers, retreat to Kryon's room to discuss what should be done privately. Setting on maybe not abandoning the town and running away with all of the townsfolk, perhaps it looks more advantageous to try to bring the thing down itself, maybe even turning the tide of the war. As they discuss this, it appears, at the moment, and tell me again, we'll jump into if any of this is wrong, that's fine. It appears that Kryon and Kalia were thinking of maybe going to look for a few griffins just outside of town, and that Elif and Rose wanted to obtain some alchemist's fire that Rose had stored under the town many years before. Mikek and Connie are still figuring out how they're going to help, and as all of this was starting to become solidified, you discovered a couple drow spies listening at the door. A quick chase ensued, and luckily the beasts were able to capture them. Now, after an hour of interrogation, the only response you've been able to get out of these spies is the phrase, "I am Gohonia's riddle." You've noticed that the mountain has stopped advancing toward the town for now. And though the sky has grown overcast, you can still tell it's there. And yet the people of Burden still await some plan of action from the local folk heroes. So, ladies and gentlemen, what is it you would like to do?
Andy, the first thing that Connie would have done as part of the interrogation of those drow spies,
Sure.
he would have definitely kind of tried the strategy of going from one to the other and saying, so you say you're Gohonia's riddle, but got news for you. The other guy says he's Gohonia's riddle. So what do you say to that?
I am Gohonia's riddle.
All right, and Connie goes from that guy to the other guy. All right, now what did you say you were?
I am Gohonia's riddle.
Aha! The other guy says he's Gohonia's riddle. So what do you say to that?
And so on and so forth for the next half hour you do this.
Have we separated them? Are they in the same place?
Yeah.
I think we should certainly separate them. Can we
Absolutely.
separate them?
You've tried a bunch of things, and so far that's all you can get out of them. But if you want to do something more creative or more extreme, please.
More creative than Connie's idea? Come on.
Such a creative idea.
I mean, I think we should probably at least experiment with physical violence.
I think we should at least experiment.
I mean,
Such a
let's float that boat out there. That seems to be effective in some negotiations. Does anyone have like a high ability to punch someone in the face? Would that be Connie more than anyone else, maybe?
You probably would be the best at that, but Connie certainly can punch. Yeah.
I will say this: after a half hour of them just continuously saying, "I am Gohonia's secret," Connie's definitely going to punch both of them at least once, really, really hard.
Okay.
Didn't they specify that their Gohonia's riddle?
Yes.
What do I say?
Yeah.
Okay.
Secret. You're drunk. Connie's drunk. He's been drinking.
Connie has been drinking.
Interrogation.
If the punching starts, Kalia would kind of step outside, and she even kind of looks at you, Kryon, and maybe just shakes her head a little and steps out the door.
Shaming me.
That's not Kalia judging Kryon. That's Andy judging Dom.
No. It's not judging.
Judgment. I didn't lay a finger on him.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, so they're Kahonians. I mean,
like something has seemed a little odd to you, and that is they've literally only said those words and literally only said them in that order.
they've been brainwashed, you guys. They've been brainwashed. We need to try and unbrainwash them.
Could I do a medical check on them to see if they had, I don't know, seemed like they had any major injuries, if they showed any signs of like being hypnotized or anything like that?
Anal probe.
Besides the injuries that were sustained from you guys, there's not much else. They are both at 1 hit point. Metagame.
Can I do an investigation check for any kind of attachments or something in their hair or in their ears or something like that?
Sure, yeah, give me an investigation check too.
Yeah.
And Connie, did you swing your pike at one of them?
No, I just punched one of them.
Oh, okay. Just making sure.
Investigation.
Oh dear, we've reversed a trend.
Oh,
That too.
I'm sorry,
All right.
guys.
You're good.
We should take a break, Andy. We should take a
Already,
break.
yeah.
Reset the clock. It's been too long.
Kryon, yeah, it's you're feeling the pressure. You know the town is like in the main part of this tavern waiting to hear from you guys. Kalia kind of gave you a dirty look. You really want to know what's going on, and you want to be safe, and you want to figure out what's best for everyone. And your head's just not quite in it as you're looking through and searching them. You don't think there's anything on them, but
I'm sorry, you guys.
Mikek's gonna sort of look at them. If you're the riddle, are you meant to be answered?
Oh.
I am Gohonia's riddle.
Does anybody like you, Turtle Man? Do you know how to do read mind reading? Can you read minds? Can you read minds? I can't because I'm not a preparation caster, but maybe you can.
I cannot read minds. Are you a riddle from Goholnia or a riddle for Goholnia? The syntax is a little unclear.
I am Gohonia's riddle.
All right, and this is where Connie punches him.
But now I have a question. If that's the way they acted,
Yeah.
does it seem like he listened to me and thought about it and was trying to give an answer, and instead what came out was I am Goholnia's riddle?
Right, or is it like Pavlovian? It just kind of...
Yeah, give me
out.
an insight check.
So it's not an anagram for anything, you guys?
9, not 19. Sorry.
It's hard to say. It seems like they're having different emotions, and the tone of voice seems to change. This is a little bit of a I am Groot situation, perhaps? You're having trouble reading what that is.
You guys. Do you think this is the riddle? Is this what we're supposed to be solving? Is this the riddle? Them?
Elif, what the hell are you talking about?
Oh, she might be onto something here.
Yeah, I maybe onto something, Connie. Ha. Fuck you.
If they are Kahonia's riddle, then we have to solve them. We have to ask a different question, maybe.
They're sort of tied up, right? I'm assuming they're sort of tied and bound.
Sure. Yeah, however...
To keep secure.
Not gagged, obviously.
Can you tap your foot once for yes, twice for no?
I am Gohonia's riddle.
Did the dialect change?
They're slight French accents.
I was like, accent?
It wanders.
Okay.
It's become Provençal.
What if Kryon asks, what is Kahonian's riddle?
I am Gohonia's riddle.
Jesus Croesus. It's a conundrum, you guys. I thought I was onto something there.
Did someone do this to you?
I am going his riddle.
But, I mean,
We didn't see them say anything prior to us catching them, correct?
No, as soon as you opened the door, pretty quickly, they bolted in different directions, not saying anything.
And we didn't hear them call anything like during the chase,
Right.
Or one of the two of them, the one that I was chasing, turned into a hawk, I remember. Looking over his stuff, I think they were both men. I don't remember.
Yes.
Do I see anything that I might recognize as a druidic focus? Or because, like, that's a thing that Mikek knows as a possibility.
Right.
But
Yeah, in fact, one of the things that Kryon found and put kind of aside, because he wasn't sure what it was, is kind of a little ringlet of, like, moss and vine. And it looks like could be worn as a kind of a bracelet even, perhaps. That might be a druidic focus, you could see.
could I investigate that more?
Yeah, give me maybe an Arcana check.
ooh, what's Arcana? Like dark magic?
Yeah,
Isn't it just magic in general?
kind of a magic in general.
I miss guidance. 9.
You think it's possible? Certainly, yeah.
Do I think it is itself magical, or...
You don't feel that, and both of them have one. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, I can look at it too. I'm really good at looking at magic things.
Yeah, I think this could be a druidic focus. I'm not sure, though.
I mean, if they both have one, we could do it. Sorry, this is Kryon. So if they both have one, we could do a trial and error where maybe we manipulate or destroy a bracelet and see if that changes anything for one thing.
Possible. I'd like to know a little bit more about it first. Do you see anything, Elif?
I guess I want to look at the bracelet and try to see things about it.
Arcana. Yeah.
Do you have guidance? I forget.
Oh, I do. Can I have cast guidance?
Sure, give me a d4 then, too.
9. This is great. We're so good at rolling tonight.
I've rolled a 9 twice.
Yeah, you again. Yeah, you feel like could be a focus. You're not super familiar with druids, like Mikek is. So yeah, it's hard to tell. But
On a different level, and I think probably a different check, do I recognize the herbs and the rest that it's made out of?
yeah, give me a nature check then.
I have rolled 3 9s.
You can tell it's somewhat of a rare sort of small thin vine that would require a bit of need to procure, but again, yeah, you think it's certainly possible. You don't have much to go on.
Is it something from this area, or is it...
With a 9, it feels a little foreign to you, so probably not from this area, but you don't know where.
Okay.
Can I do a check to see if it has any, like, meaning that I can figure out based on, like, I don't know, things I've heard of and seen in the past?
Yeah, history perhaps.
These are just, like, bracelets that they think are funny, and we're just getting obsessed with them.
9!
These rolls,
What the fuck?
all of our rolls so far have been below 10.
Yeah.
Except for your one-handed pike.
yeah, your punch, yeah.
Except for my punch. My punch is the only thing that's been effective.
A 9 makes, it's hard to tell exactly. You've never exactly heard of anything like this. Again, yeah, you're just basically at the point where you think it's possible, but you can't tell much more than that.
Okay.
I mean, the most evidence you have for them being druids is one of them turned into an animal, but there are theoretically other ways for that to happen too.
We didn't find anything on them when we searched them, any, like, notes or anything.
No, specifically, they don't seem to be traveling very far, meaning they didn't have anything else on them. No ration,
have packs
no
or-
packs, yeah.
But they're not from this town, right? We don't recognize them?
None of you recognize them now.
Aside from them saying the same phrase over and over again, do they seem like outside of that they're in a trance, or are they normal and they can only just say one thing?
Yeah, good question. Give me an insight check. see how Kryon feels about that.
Someone has to roll something.
Come on, double digits. Not asking for a lot here.
Come on.
Double digits. Not asking for a lot here.
Cheesy, crazy.
Yeah, with a 10, you can tell they don't seem to be in a trance. That becomes pretty obvious to you. They seem to be with it. They're locking eyes with you. They're almost answering in a tone of voice that seems like it conveys meaning. Just the words are exactly the same. And at this point, yeah, you're having a hard time thinking you're going to get much else out of them.
Connie has lost patience for all of this. He would suggest just dragging them to the Burden jail and just throwing them into the cell for now. But I would also like to suggest, as Adam, I would like maybe to see what would happen if Connie happens to drag one or both of these guys past the goblin who we've called Candy.
I was going
to... I'm very curious about... Because Connie's not an idiot. And the fact that the goblin seems to know something about the mountain that he's been saying since we first met him, like that line about, if you're up there, and this is my Andy impression, well, if you're up there, where are the birds going to be? Something like that.
Sounds exactly like him.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so what would happen if the goblin got a chance to kind of be all weird and peer into these drow guys' eyes and say one of his weird lines to them?
Sure. Yeah, you start to kind of drag him to the jail. Rose is there with a few kind of armed friends of hers, so she can escort them if you want. But you sort of drag them past Can of Worms, and the wolves just like go right up to this person and Can of Worms and says, you're up there. You shouldn't be.
He's saying that to the drow?
Yeah.
Connie's going to be like, hey, could you elaborate on that in maybe like a sane way?
The birds are supposed to be up there in the sky.
All right, you know what? Never mind.
Not the mountains.
Never mind.
I mean, he's right. He's like totally right. That was super saiyan.
I'm right. I'm fucking right.
Are you saying that they're from the mountain?
Yes, you smell it. You could smell it on them.
Elif's gonna lean in and sniff them.
Give me a perception check.
There it is, finally.
22.
Jesus Christ.
Now that he's pointed this out, Elif, you get that almost sort of ozone smell, that smell like just after a rain.
Petrichor.
You get a petrichor.
It's the smell of the earth before and after the rain.
Yeah, you get sort of that sense, that kind of smell in it, and it feels a little foreign to you because all the sort of rain smell that you smell is just sort of mud and dirt and the dirt of this city and its people. This does smell fresher and cleaner a bit, but yeah.
Oh my god, y'all, they smell really weird. They smell super weird. Like clean rain. We don't have that here, right? Like never.
I haven't tasted clean rain since the night Vern and I met. Wait, did I say that out loud?
Yeah, you did.
Come on, let's get out drow. I'm dragging you to the jail.
Okay, then.
All right, yeah. Rose says that she can take him for you. That's fine. So she just kind of stops you then and says, look, the people need to know what you're doing. Are we evacuating or are we trying to fight this thing?
Hey, Rose, now seems like a really great time to have a conversation with you because I really want to talk to you really quick again. I know we tried to talk last episode and the episode before, and you're just being really cryptic all the time, super cryptic. Anyway, my question is what have you been doing, and what is this big deal that you've been doing, and does it maybe relate to this? And even if you don't think it does, it probably does. I bet it does. So what have you been doing for the last 7 years? What's up?
Breathe.
Stop being cryptic.
Breathe, child. Walk with me to the jail. Sure.
Okay, sure.
Deliver the prisoner.
Have another espresso. Just calm down.
Have another.
Relax.
So Elif then and Rose will go off escorting the prisoners to the jail. Then what are the rest of you doing?
This is tough, you guys, because I don't think, unless we crack the code and break these draw to actually tell us something that we know, we're kind of wasting our time. They're just kind of holding us up from what we actually want to do. Like, I don't think they have the secret to the whole mountain experience, right? We're hoping to get a little bit of information out of them, but like, what do they really know? They're just privates in the army, right? I mean,
were they wearing any kind of uniform or anything?
No, specifically not the red and white of Goholmian army uniforms.
But like they weren't dressed identically or anything that would suggest a uniform.
In fact, they were probably dressed in more rags and dirty clothing to seemingly fit into the town, is maybe what you'd guess.
Fuckers.
I mean, I like Carney's idea of like, if we're not getting anywhere with these guys, let's stick them in a cell and we'll put a pin in that thing until later type thing.
Sure.
Because does anyone know how to get these guys to say anything about from? It's not an anagram, right? It's not an anagram. It's way too specific, that thing.
Well, like, there could be an anagram of it.
But it won't be helpful.
But at that level of, like, entropy of that many characters, that would be rough.
Okay.
Especially if we didn't have a key we were trying to solve for. Like, if we had a word for it, then you could probably sort the rest, but...
Yeah, no, and frankly, knowing Andy, I'm reasonably sure that we're not supposed to figure this out.
Oh, okay. All right. You've played this game before.
Yeah.
One of the many mysteries, perhaps.
So I would say that Mikek would probably be going and... Last we've sort of discussed there are griffins, which might be a way to get up there. We know that the giant elk are tied to this rock. So it seems like it probably doesn't fly, as in move, on its own. It just hovers. And we had discussed that Elif is getting lots of explosives, which is making her very happy. And that I might be trying to sort of concoct any oils or anything else that I know of that could help fire and explosions spread.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. That was kind of our separate little paths toward that figuring out the mountain and taking down the mountain, perhaps. And Kalia even sort of suggests, like, I don't mind going with Kryon. I can show him where the griffins were. I can bring back the rest. And he said he wanted to do maybe a lap around and see if he saw anything.
So are we pretty sure that they're not going to just shoot down a griffin?
Hopefully.
Not there, but I have invisibility, so I can make one creature invisible. So pick which griffin you love the most, and pick which person you like the least, and we'll pair those together, and we'll be good.
That's awesome.
I feel like, knowledge is power, right? Any kind of garnering of information, a reconnaissance of sort. I mean, if it is Kryon or whoever that does it, they fly close enough and garner any type of information, because at this point where we're at is a little bit of a dead end, right?
It is kind of an overcast night, or it's like afternoon at this point. You could probably get pretty close and have a decent amount of cover, especially from the mountain itself.
I like it.
I'm not trying to steer you, I'm just saying.
I'd be into that. I'm the lightest of the group, right? And I have pretty good... What would that be? Would that be insight? To check, to see something from a distance and gain some money from it?
Perception to like look around. Probably animal handling to make sure you can move the griffin around.
What is my perception? Oh, it's a 2. It's not fantastic.
That's decent.
My animal handling is a 2. What are you guys going to do when I do that? I mean, it's none of my business. You do what you want.
And Mikek, you could probably get those oils around pretty quickly if you wanted to like go with Kalia and Kryon or Elif and Rose. You probably could still do that in the amount of time.
You know what, guys? I think I'd be happy to escort my new friend Elif on her part of this little mission that we're on. I care about Burden, and I care about Wigmoles, but mostly I just care about staying with Elif here. And making sure that she doesn't leave my sight.
You got a little Nixon there. You bled a little Nixon.
Insight 13. I just want to see how genuine he's being about caring about Burden and Wigmoles and
I will say,
me.
I'm not lying. Connie does care about Burden.
But are you being genuine?
He does care about Burden. He does care about Wigmoles because he hates Cahonia.
Right.
But more than any of that, he cares about sticking with Elif and not letting you out of his sight.
Yeah.
That's all true.
Okay, like you would totally normally be welcome, Connie, because we're buddies now, right? We're like super tight, so tight.
Tight like this.
But yeah, exactly. But unfortunately, this is like a private conversation between Rose and me catching up because we haven't seen each other in like 10 years, 7 years. You understand, like, right? You want to catch up with people sometimes, so we're just gonna catch up, okay?
Does Connie have any kind of history with Rosie?
I mean,
No, not. I mean, yes. In that, Rose was sort of a leader of kind of a local gang, but Rose was also very out of the limelight and not the one to do anything specifically. So you don't have any personal connection to that person.
If Rosie's around, during this interaction that Connie and Elif just had, does Rosie seem like she's kind of like vibing with Elif? Like, yeah, Connie, don't come with us.
It seems like that, yeah. She does say, you can meet us up at the family estate, the street family estate, just north of here. That's underneath is where I hid the barrels.
Family estate. All right, now what road do they live on?
I believe it's...
Avenue Road?
Yeah, I believe it's Avenue. North Avenue.
Yeah.
The street family on North Avenue.
What was her maiden name? Thoroughfare?
I don't know. I don't get that. Okay, anyway.
Bye.
Hey, I get it. I understand having a coworker who you want to have private moments with. So you guys do that, and I'll figure out my own thing to do.
Right.
sounds great.
Connie
Yes.
will be tracking them. We'll be following them from a distance.
Okay. Sounds good. You can roll a stealth check. Also, you guys have completed a short rest, even since the last fight, because you spent an hour at least trying to just interrogate these people. If there's any hit dice you want to do, or Kryon, I believe you get back your key points.
What? So, as a noob, what does that mean? Any hit dice that you want to do? What does that mean?
Yeah, so during the short rest, you can roll hit dice. You have up to your level in hit dice, like 4 in this case. And it will allow you to regain hit points for just a short little recovery.
Oh, we don't just get them back automatically.
You would at a long rest. But right now, you've only had time for a short rest.
So I just hit the hit dice button and it'll tell me?
Yep. Yeah, just kind of plan like I want to do 2 or something, and then roll 2 of those.
Okay. So
Although, as was pointed out to us last time, that is actually explicitly not rules as written.
Oh, is it really?
You roll 1 and then
Yeah.
decide if you want to keep rolling them.
Oh.
And you can continue making that. I don't know, because we both do that.
Is that a rule? I wonder if that was like change because we started again playing 5e sort of with the playtest version of this. So every once in a while, there's like a rule that carries over from that. So yeah, so roll 1 at a time and keep going if you want to.
So I rolled a 3, you guys, on a D8,
All right.
which ended up becoming a 4. Like,
That would
that's that.
put you up to
average.
18 out of 25.
And you can't choose to... you can add them together. So if you wanted to roll another die,
Yeah.
you would then just add the 4 and whatever you next rolled together.
Oh, so why wouldn't I roll it again?
They're an expendable resource.
They're just a little slow to get back. So you'll get back 2, like after a long rest, 2 hit dice.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna roll it again.
And like currently I have none, for example.
Right.
Okay, so we're all kind of hankering for a long rest at some point, right?
Yeah,
So
hopefully.
I'm gonna roll again.
Okay.
Come on,
A
8.
9.
Oh,
Yeah,
5.
a 9 total.
Okay, not bad.
That'll bring you to 23. So you're only 2 off of your max. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
I rolled 1.
Nice.
I'm out of hit dice, and you don't get any hit dice back from a short rest, right?
Right.
Wait, how come you're out of hit dice, Adam?
Because at our last short rest, I spent hit dice to recover hit points.
Right, and then you kind of got a bit of a pounding in the last fight.
Yeah, but I would say that I also gave it pounding.
Oh, no, it's almost certain.
No dispute.
Reciprocal pounding, one might say.
Reciprocal poundings, yeah. But let's stop talking about Connie and Vern.
I was just going to say, maybe that's another term for casual, non-judgmental sex. Reciprocal pounding.
Pounding.
So academic.
I am going to point out strategically that I know we're like thinking of storming the mountain soon, tonight maybe, but strategically speaking, it might be good for you all to get a long rest. I'm fine. I can go for days.
I would deeply appreciate a long rest.
I was just thinking of doing the reconnaissance, coming back and maybe just sharing information with you guys
Yeah, that makes sense.
around the fight with an ocarina.
Nice.
This is the internationally approved gesture for ocarina.
Is it?
This is not squids on my face. This is ocarina.
Ugh.
Wait. What time would you need to gesture squids on my face?
When don't you?
Well, you know, I mean, Spain, they love calamari in Spain. It happens a lot. You know?
It reminds me of Fates of Rin, of Burbage's Mask of Many Faces.
That's true, yeah.
Oh.
That's like legitimately like one of my favorite things I have ever done in RPGs. I'm not going to spoil it for people who haven't listened to the podcast, but the Mask of Many Faces of Burbage was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Go listen.
So yeah, I mean, like, I would love a long rest eventually, and also, I like, following Elif and Rosie is just, like, top level, like, that seems like something Connie might do, but if somebody were to maybe give him an actual job, he might do it. And then also, yeah, like, do we think that a recon mission with Kryon and Kalia could we kind of, how long might that take? Could that be something that we just kind of slot in here rather, because what I was thinking earlier was they do that while we approach with alchemy stuff at ground level and like.
But instead, they could do that while we're getting the barrels and I'm talking to Ro.
Right.
But but have Kryon return back with information before we
Right.
Yes.
launch an attack.
Right.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what would be the reason, you know?
Right.
For
Right.
splitting the party so extravagantly, I don't know, but I'm drawn in that direction always. So
Yeah.
it's best to be explicit about these things.
All right. Great. Mikek, did you want to kind of prepare some of the oils and then head out with Kalia and Kryon?
Yeah, I probably would, if nothing else, because it's another person to help with the griffins.
Sure. Solid. All right. You two kind of head out of town and start to go north. Elif and Rosie, why don't we then have our conversation here as you are walking then along with Elif? What is it you'd like to say?
So, like, no more cryptic shit, right? No more cryptic shit. Where the fuck were you for 7 years? And what's going on? You keep saying, like, it's this big, huge deal. Like, it's, like, bigger than Gaholia, bigger than the war, bigger than, like, the world almost. Like, it's as big as the world, right? Something huge was happening that you were involved in or are involved in or something. But you won't say what it was. What is it?
It's true, yes. Well, I have reason to believe that, and this is going to sound kind of crazy, gods themselves are pulling the strings of actions within this world. Specifically one whose name I keep hearing over and over, Bahamut. I'm not exactly sure what all this means, but one of her servants, Borir, seems to be very, very intent on this war in particular. These are not good things. When gods start playing with lives of people, this is never good.
No, this is like super hella bad. Super bad. You're right. So like, do you know like intent on the war in what way? Like, what is he, she, them? What are they doing? What are they doing about the war? And also, how do we like get them out of it and not have them involved? Because this is really freaky.
The war continuing, the destruction of Wigmoles. Though I did have someone bring up an interesting theory. Maybe the war is entirely a distraction from something else as well. I don't know. If we can end it, or slow it down, or turn the tide, or, God forbid, even make it go quicker, I don't know which of these would be best, but I think we should be very wary of these kinds of situations.
Yeah, like hella for sure.
Also, your friend had mentioned a music box. Do you know anything about that?
Do you know anything about that?
Maybe.
What do you know?
It is not for you to worry about now. Just an odd coincidence.
Hey, Rose, like this whole thing, this whole town is now like my thing to worry about, right? Because you left for 7 years. 7 years, Rose, 7 years. You just left. So anything that might have anything to do with anything in this town is mine to worry about, and that has to do with this town. So what do you know about it?
It has nothing to do with this town. It is some little halfling far away.
Oh my God damn it.
It maybe has to do with this town. It definitely like maybe does, because like they were talking about it here, right? What halfling?
God damn it.
Some halfling named, what was his name?
Don't even say it.
Avery Kemp. Something. I wouldn't worry about it. It's fine. Do you want to kick the prisoners before we put them in their cell?
No, like, I think maybe they could be, like, brainwashed or something. I kind of feel almost bad for them. And, you know, the prison might end up getting blown up with them inside of it, so that would suck for them. So we can just put them in the cell.
As you open the jails, a can of worms comes in with his 2 wolves, and then just goes to his cell, opens it up, comes back, shuts it, and he kind of climbs up with his arms onto his cot, and seemingly starts to fall asleep.
Okay, so, like, Rose, if you were me in this situation and Burden was your responsibility because you hadn't disappeared for 7 years without a trace and made everyone think you were dead, what would you do? What would you do in this situation?
As weird as it sounds, Burden is a special place, at least for those who are here. I would do what I could to protect it. And we've done that. We've captured, and she's looking around the jail now, many soldiers already. The town is essentially free. I'm just worried about how to deal with the new threat.
Yeah, like the new threat? That's like specifically what I'm asking you about, Rose. Not the soldiers. It's specifically the new threat.
I don't know. Fight until the last of us.
I mean, I can do that. I can blow shit up until we're all blown up. What a way to go, right? That's how I've always wanted to die.
You feel it, though, don't you, too? Burden is special.
It is. It's super special.
It shouldn't be.
Why?
It's a muddy spot in the middle of nowhere. It feels important. Feels like home. I don't know. Having a lot of feelings being back.
What do you think, like, makes it feel that way? Like, if you had to, like, close your eyes and point at something, what would it be?
She points south. I don't know.
Yeah.
You guys, Kryon's getting restless. So he's gonna bounce. He's gonna be like, okay, Kalia. Okay, Kalia. I'll meet you at the Griffins. I'm gonna see if I can pick out a friendly one. And I think Kryon just heads off. He's well rested. He feels good, and he wants to maybe see. I think you had said, Andy, that there was 2 or 3 Griffins or 3 or 4 Griffins. I think he's hoping to see if one of them is more tame than others. She
had seen like 2 or 3. Yeah. Yeah, and Mikek and Kalia are coming with you. Yeah, they don't mind roughing it. She'll show you where they were specifically.
Kryon's he's just like me, Kryon. He's allergic to waiting. He cannot do it. He's like, he gets hives when he waits for things. Seriously, it's outrageous.
And you grew up in a monastery?
Yeah, Kryon, Mikek, you two and Kalia are making your way kind of north. Kalia starts to kind of ask you though, Kryon, how is it that you came to Burden? What brought you here? Don't get me wrong, I'm entirely glad that you're here. I just wondered why one of my saviors even came to this spot.
Well, do you know why I left? Do you know why I left the monastery?
Not at all.
I had to get as far away from that place as possible. I was conducting my studies. I was doing the best I could throughout my daily rituals. And I started to see a few things that the abbot was doing to the locals to garner money that I did not agree with. Bordering on criminal. When I approached him about this, he asked me to leave, which I did, and I wasn't aware that in leaving, he was going to blame all of those crimes basically on me. So once I started to hear of those things happening, I got as far away as I could from the monastery.
It is hard to do the right thing sometimes when everything about it is sort of telling you to just stay and put your head down and look a different way. And then she kind of looks over at you, Mikek, and gives you a nod as well.
Yeah, it's hard to keep the faith when the person who represents God turns out to be a criminal and blames it on you. But anyway, I don't want to get too upset about that because it might bristle the griffin's feathers if we don't.
Very true. It is good to have a clean and healthy spirit going to them. And you, Mikek, I know I've left you alone for a few days. How's your spirit?
Our town is more on fire than usual.
It's true?
Not just because of Elif.
I think I've only lit like one thing on fire, y'all. So, well, okay, and like that bush, but bushes don't count.
Why? They do.
Small things don't count.
Oh, God.
Sort of like, and now wondering what to do about that. Pointing up at the mountain. I think it needs to be taken care of. I think this town needs someone to take care of it, but I'm worried about what it will mean to try to. I have a shop to run.
Yeah. Maybe this is asking a lot. If you don't hurt the elk underneath it, I would personally enjoy that.
When we spoke, you said that they didn't enjoy pulling that mountain or being harnessed to it. I was hoping we would be able to detach them from it, and I was kind of hoping that they would, scatter.
Well, anything I can even do to help with that. But yes, if you free them, I could lead them away. I'm quite good at animals.
Excellent. Yes, I think we're going to be trying to do that. If nothing else, the chaos of them not being able to move should sow some chaos and buy us an opportunity to do something else to the mountain.
Fair enough, yeah. You were the smart one of the family. So, Kryon and Mikek, after about 20 minutes of plotting, you come to kind of the edge of a light, not quite dense, light covering of trees. It is starting to get toward the end of the afternoon, maybe even barely into the twilight. The sun is low. It's casting that deep yellow across the land. And the trees actually, in the fall up here, are beautiful colors of purples and pinks and oranges. And you take a moment, and of course, this makes sense. There are griffins in these trees. And then you see a campfire.
Now I fucking regret splitting the party. I hope you guys will all be okay.
And around the campfire,
Oh, son of a bitch.
Near the griffins, in the exact place where the griffins were, type thing.
yeah. So this is where Kalia is leading you and pointing. And then she kind of gets down when all of you see the firelight. A couple large tents have been set up, and she says, it was right over here, right around here, in these small copse of trees. And if you want to, you could get a little closer. You don't see many people. You only see 3 or 4 people, kind of just sitting on logs around the campfire right now.
Right.
Is that one figure that looks like a knight someone that I recognize? 3
of them are in Gahonian garb. One of them is very specifically in that gold fur collared garb of the Captain Heimlo.
Time for some outrageous Germanness.
Wait, I thought Rose captured all of them. Did some of them escape?
The captain that turned into a demon dog thing? Yes, ran away.
Oh fuck, I forgot about that. I don't know how. That's that captain?
It's that captain, yeah.
The one you chased. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah, he was kind of a beast, right? He was a little bit of a tank.
You see a drow as well, sitting around the fire, and he sort of lifts up a chain and kind of shakes it, and you follow the line of the chain in, and you then see kind of emerging from the 2 tents between them a rather large griffin who seems to be chained up. And at this, Kalia puts a hand to her mouth. And she looks then kind of pleadingly at you, Mikek and Kryon.
Hate this man / demon dog more than words can express.
So there's 3 of us. There's 4 of them and a griffin. Is that right?
Yeah. Give me a perception check if you're really kind of staring at these people. And if you want to get closer, that
Okie dokie.
would make the check easier. Ooh.
19.
Oh, we're picking up the pace, you guys.
All right. Yeah, with the 19, Kryon, you're peering into this little circle. The captain, who you recognize from the town, the guy that turned into the nasty demon dog thing, looks really hurt and beat up. He's just kind of sipping soup. He's hunched over the fire. The others are kind of taking care of him a little bit. Seems like he's recovering. And honestly, since you guys came here so quickly, you might have caught him before he's recovered too much.
Okay. So, a compromised warrior. Mikek, you're not really a warrior, right? You're more of a, you're a healer with a lot of defense, is that correct?
It's a little of both. Increasingly, I'm discovering that my gammy may have had good points with regard to killing people with fire when they piss you off.
Gotta love gammies.
And what about Kalia's ability in a fight? Is she in any way skilled?
She specifically did not fight in the last one. So you would imagine if she was quite skilled at combat, she would have joined that right away. She's a little fragile. She seems to have really good attunement with animals, you've noticed. If that's helpful.
Does it seem like she might be able to help us vis-a-vis the griffin?
Do you ask her?
Like, would she think that maybe she could persuade, Kalia, if we were to engage in combat, do you think you could get that nice griffin to murder the ever-loving hell out of all of the Goholnians, but not Kryon, and not me, and not you?
Oh, that's a little specific. I could talk to him, literally. And if he's feeling up to it, sure.
Can I ask a noob question here, since
Hit me.
Since there might be a few noobs here wondering how this whole game consistently works. If you are asking a non-playing human character to do something, is that at the discretion of the dungeon master, or is that a dice roll? Do you decide what Kalia does and doesn't do?
Right, I've already written what she's able to do. And me and Goe had already talked about her personality generally and that sort of thing. So from that, kind of a pre-written thing, I kind of know how she'll react. Yeah.
I was going to say, in some characters, for example, if they weren't as... She regards us quite positively. One, we saved her, and two, she's generally in favor of fucking up the Goholnian shit. But they, for example, it might require a persuasion roll, Andy. Like, that would be fair, of like, oh, yeah, I'm a little on the fence. I don't exactly know. Yeah, sure, if you roll well, maybe they will, maybe they won't.
Right.
But with her, she's actually pretty inclined to help us. It's more a matter of what she can do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, she says, yeah, if you can get me close enough to talk, I maybe need to be 30 feet or so of him.
Are we all able to see the length of the chain? It's significant? It's long enough that the griffin can actually move around. It's not a couple of feet type thing?
Right. Yeah, they're still another 60, 70 feet up from you. And over here's the griffin. So it's by them, but the chain is probably 15, 20 feet long.
Okay. All right. What do you think, Goy?
I have an idea that I could surprise them, but doing so will pretty much initiate the combat.
Okay, well, let's talk about that. Maybe I can get myself into a combat position as well as you surprise them. What's your idea?
I'm pretty sure I can get to them without them seeing me at all.
Ooh.
And get in at least one attack / making their life difficult?
Yeah. I mean, I'm a halfling. I have a great ability to kind of hide and be stealthy too. So if you were to pick a target, I could pick the other person and then maybe the griffin can go after the strongest. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking that I turn into a giant badger, tunnel my way there, and then appear under them, sucking one of them into the ground where I will beat him savagely.
Wow.
I was thinking you were going to do that too.
Obviously. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Mikek, you feel you can get pretty close, probably with a stealth check over to the tent at least, and that'll put you very close to the action when it pops off.
Do you mean Kryon?
Kryon. Who did I say?
I was like, I'm gonna be under the ground.
Yeah, Mikek. No, you should be good.
Like, unless they have tremor sense or something.
Yeah.
Let me roll a stealth check.
All right.
Come on, stealth check.
That was a fumble, but then Halfling Luck kicked in.
Halfling Luck. Oh my gosh, you rolled a 1. Halfling Luck kicked in, which made you automatically re-roll it. You rolled a 17.
Boom. Oh, I didn't. That's rad, by the way, that it's automatic.
Yeah.
So it's automatically in my character sheet. If I roll a 1, I automatically roll again. I would have forgotten that. That's so cool.
Yeah, 17 plus 6 then puts you at 23.
Boom.
Yeah, you can pretty much get as close as you want to this.
So before we were setting out, there are 2 guards that look like standard guards.
Yeah.
There is Captain Outrageously German.
Yep.
And there's the drow,
Yeah.
who also looks like he's working with them.
Seemingly, yeah.
because you had commented like he had a chain. It looks like he's holding the chain, not he is chained.
Right. Yes, 100%.
And Captain, I'm an enormous German asshole, seems like he's still pretty hurt.
Yeah.
Whereas the guards look fresh, but probably not as tough as him.
Yeah.
I'll probably say to Kryon, I'll go for the guard on the left. When he falls screaming into the abyss, maybe start hitting people. Or not. Do badgers eat people?
We're going to find out. All right. You turn into a badger.
Giant badger.
A giant badger. You start tunneling. You get decently deep enough where you don't think they should be able to sense it. You can place yourself then kind of where you'd like to pop out. Kryon, you could probably get up to like here-ish on the left side of the tent without anyone with that roll.
Yeah.
Kalia is going to be a little further back, but she's very carefully making no noise and moving very, very slowly. And all right, Mikek, how would you like to begin this?
So giant badgers are medium creatures.
Yeah.
So the way I was conceiving of this is I'm probably like started 20, 30 feet underground.
Okay, yeah.
I have gotten to directly under him and now I have turned up.
Gotcha.
And I'm just sort of now spending the last period of this time burrow speeding my way up.
Gotcha. Then you can, pop out right under him. Is that sort of your play?
I'm trying to pull him straight into the ground.
Pull him straight into the ground. Give me a grapple check to kind of do that.
Because this other guard is going to be alerted to that behavior.
It will. You'll get a chance to rush in as soon as you see that because they're going to be so surprised.
Oh, I want. Okay. That's okay. Oh, look at all those dice.
19. That's
right.
I just rolled my attack because it's strength based.
With a 19, you're able to. He sort of goes. You hear Kryon, then you hear him go, "Wait, what the?" And then pulled off of the edge of the log down into the ground itself. And that seems to be your cue. What would you like to do?
Okay, so Kryon is going to tunnel underneath the material of this tent.
Yeah.
Lots of tunneling.
And he's going to stand in this corner right here. And he's going to play his ocarina, hoping that one of these two people head into the tent to wonder what all the fuss is about.
Excellent. Yeah, give me a performance check.
So what does performance generally lean towards? What is that? Like how you act?
It's how you're actually acting or performing or musical instrument. How you're sort of getting.
Oh, okay. How proficient you are with that thing.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So you get into the tent. Someone goes, "Whoa, what the?" and is pulled underground. And as soon as that happens, there's music.
It's not just an ocarina; it's a magical ocarina.
Yes, you are playing your magical ocarina. Did you want any special effects to go off as well with that? I didn't think so, but maybe.
I don't think so at this point. I don't think it necessarily benefits him to have the special effects go off.
All right. Here it is. I think.
Isn't that lovely? I have an ocarina downstairs. I should always have it with me. I'll bring it next time he goes.
Nice. And fans of Lost might realize that that's a similar sort of tune.
It was a bit more upbeat version of Life and Death from Lost.
It was.
Da, dun, 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 dun.
Thank you, Sam, for making those, by the way. That's awesome.
Thank you, Sam Winnie.
Cool. All right, yeah. So you play that. Your performance roll was excellent. With a 17, immediately everyone's attention draws to you. The guard sort of leaps up and is coming to the front of the tent, throws back the flaps. What would you like to do?
Okay, so I'm going to spend a key point, and I'm going to use Step of the Wind.
Okay.
Take a disengaged dash action to... Oh, wait. Oh, no, I don't need to jump. No, I don't need to do... I don't want to cancel the Step of the Wind.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm going to use Flurry of Blows. That was the one I was getting confused with. So
Solid.
I'm going to use this one.
Yeah. So you have your main attack, and then Flurry of Blows will give you 2 more attacks. Yep.
Right. So basically that means as he comes in, without him being able to do anything, I can attack him 3 times. Is that right?
Yeah, if you need it even. So go ahead and roll one of your attacks, the martial attack.
Okay, cool.
As he comes in. 14 hits. Yeah.
Okay, nice.
All right. 7 damage. So he steps in and he's much taller than you. He's looking around. You immediately elbow his knee so that he crumples to the ground. Throw another attack.
Oh, I saw that try to be a nat 20.
14 again will hit. And 5 then. Yeah, the 5, as he crumples to the ground on his knees, and you just kick him straight in the face. And he immediately goes unconscious, falls backward. You're able to run over him and out if you want. But you don't have to. You could stay there.
And he would still have one more attack this turn, correct? With Flurry of Blows.
Yeah, and you do still have one more attack. If you want to rush up to this guy, you could.
So does that attack also include the move, or is the move part of the attack?
Right, you can move in between your attacks as a monk, which is always between most people can do that. But
okay. So he's out. That guy's out. He's done.
He's unconscious. Yeah, you cracked him in the knee and then immediately kicked him in the head. He's already out.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll rush the. You had said that he was slightly injured. This guy, right?
He did seem that way. Yep.
I'll rush this guy and I'll use my very last attack on him.
All right.
Come on, big attack. Come on. Oof.
All right, you come rushing out of the tent just walking over the guy entirely. You come running up, flying through the air and just try to land a punch straight on him. And he's barely just able to get a shield up just in time. So your punch goes boom off of the shield. And at this point, everyone, there needs to be a fight. So why don't we take a quick break, get our juices either out or in, however you need to do that, and we will come back. We will come back rolling initiative.
Graphic.
Yeah. Keeping it sexy.
All right. See you guys in a second.
This has been Dom and Dragons, presented by Helpful Goat Gaming. If you enjoyed what you heard and want to hear more, check out our main Dungeons & Dragons campaign, The Fates of Rin, right here in the Goats & Dragons podcast feed. You can also check out our other podcast, Helpful Goat Presents, where we play one-shots, shorter campaigns, as well as have conversations about D&D and role-playing in general. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Helpful Goat, and if you want to hear us play live, you can follow and subscribe to us on Twitch at twitch.tv/helpfulgoat. You can also chat with us and other Helpful Goat fans in our brand new Discord, or donate to our Ko-fi page to help us keep creating content by clicking the links in this episode description. And last but not least, please consider rating and reviewing us on Apple Podcasts, Podcast Addict, or Stitcher. We are a small independent game design firm and would really appreciate the support. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.